Hello students, how are you? Hope you all are fine. Good. So students, let's start our class. Today I am going to explain you chapter 3, coordinate geometry. This is very simple chapter. Clear? So are you ready for that? Okay. So coordinate geometry. Students, this is a plane. Understood? There are two perpendicular lines. There are two perpendicular lines. See here. The angle in between these two lines is of 90 degree. So they are known as perpendicular lines. Here, the horizontal line is known as x-axis. And the vertical line is known as y-axis. This is x, so here we have to write x dash. This is y, so this is y dash. Clear? Horizontal line is known as x-axis, vertical line is known as y-axis, and both the axes are known as coordinate axes. X-axis and y-axis together are known as coordinate axes. Understood? So beta, a plane including two perpendicular lines which are known as coordinate axes. So that plane is known as Cartesian plane. Cartesian plane. So what is Cartesian plane? A plane including horizontal axis and vertical axis is known as Cartesian plane. And what are the coordinate axes? The perpendicular lines are known as coordinate axes. Horizontal line is known as x-axis, vertical line is known as y-axis. Got it? Now see, the intersecting point of both the axes. The point of intersection of both the axes, where these axes intersect each other. Understood? So where they are intersecting each other, this is the point. This point is known as origin. What it is known as? Origin, and it is denoted as O. Origin is denoted as O. Clear? Okay. As you know that this side of origin we have to mark positive numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this side we have to mark negative numbers -1, -2, -3, -4 and -5. Similarly, on the upper side of y-axis we have to mark positive integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and downside negative integers -1, -2, -3, -4 and -5. Clear? Okay. Now see, these coordinate axes divides the whole Cartesian plane in how many parts? See, these coordinate axes divides the Cartesian plane in how many parts? 4 parts. First part is this, second part, third part and fourth part. Clear? These axes divides the Cartesian plane in 4 parts, and these parts are known as quadrants. What they are known as? Quadrants. And this part is known as first quadrant. First quadrant. Clear? This part is known as second quadrant. This part is known as third quadrant, and this part is known as fourth quadrant. Understood? Okay. Now I am considering a point here. Suppose that a point P is here, and we have to find its position. What is its position? So beta, what we have to do? We have to draw the perpendicular from this point on x-axis and y-axis. I am drawing a perpendicular on x-axis and on y-axis from this point. So see, on x-axis this point is 3 and on y-axis this point is 2. So the position of this point will be denoted as, first we have to write x point. X point is how much? 3, comma, y point is 2. Always keep in your mind, whenever we have to find the position of a point, the very first point is always denoted as x point and the second point is y point. Understood? This is 3, so it will be first. On y-axis there is 2, so 2 will be the second point. Now see, the x point, the point which lie on x-axis, means the very first point is known as abscissa. What it is known as? Abscissa. And the second point, which is on y-axis, this is known as ordinate. What it is known as? Ordinate. Ordinate is a point on y-axis, abscissa is a point on x-axis. Understood? Okay. Now abscissa and ordinate together are known as coordinates. Coordinates. If I am saying 3, 2, so 3, 2 are the coordinates of P. Or if I am saying what is abscissa of P, so abscissa of P is 3. Or what is ordinate of P? Ordinate of P is 2. Or if I am asking what are the coordinates of P, then you will say the coordinates of P are 3, 2. Hope it is clear to everyone? Good. Okay. Now see, another point is here on y-axis. Suppose that this point is R. Or I am asking what is the position of this point R. So beta, this point is lie on y-axis. So x is not present here. X is not present here. So whenever a point lie on y-axis, so for all those points, the abscissa will be 0 because there is no x point on y-axis. So here abscissa will be 0. And ordinate means the point which lie on y-axis. So at y-axis, which point is here? That is 4. So its ordinate will be 4. Got it? So always keep in your mind, whenever a point lie on y-axis, their abscissa will be 0. So the coordinate of R will be 0, 4. Got it? Similarly, if a point lie on x-axis, suppose that here, this point is S, or I want to find its position. What are the coordinates of this? So since this point lie on x-axis, so there is no y point, or if y point is not there, that means ordinate of that point will be 0. Ordinate will always be at the second point. So first point is x point, so x point is what here? That is -5. So the coordinates of S are -5, 0. Clear? So always keep in your mind, if a point lie on x-axis, then ordinate will be 0, or if a point lie on y-axis, then abscissa will be 0. Understood? Okay. Now question is, some point is are given. Some points are given, or we can say that the coordinates of some points are given, and we have to identify these points will lie in which quadrant. For example, I am saying 1, 2 are the coordinates of a point. So where they will lie? In which quadrant they will lie? So for that, we have to remember, in first quadrant, see, first quadrant is this portion. So here, this x-axis and this y-axis are present. So on this axis, all the x are positive, and here all the y's are positive. So in first quadrant, the sign of abscissa and ordinate both are positive. In first quadrant, abscissa and ordinate both are positive. Understood? In second quadrant, x-axis is this and y-axis is this. So here on x, all the numbers are negative. So in second coordinate, abscissa is negative and ordinates are positive. These signs you have to remember. Clear? You have to keep in your mind. In first quadrant, abscissa and ordinate both are positive. In second quadrant, abscissa is negative, ordinate is positive. In third quadrant, beta x-axis is this and y-axis is this. So here x is negative, y is also negative. That means in third quadrant, abscissa and ordinate both are negative. Minus and minus. In fourth quadrant, x-axis is this and y-axis is this. So here x is positive, means abscissa is positive and ordinates are negative. Clear? Any confusion? In first quadrant, abscissa ordinate both are positive. In second quadrant, abscissa is negative, ordinate is positive. In third quadrant, abscissa and ordinate both are negative. In fourth quadrant, abscissa is positive and ordinate is negative. Got it? Last point, what are the coordinates of origin? If somebody asks, what are the coordinates of origin? So because this is the intersecting point of x and y axis. So here x point and y points both are 0. So origin coordinates are 0, 0. The coordinate of origin are 0, 0. Understood? Hope it is clear to everyone. So all these points you have to keep in your minds. So now students, please pause the video and note all these details which I have explained you. Understood? So please note it down. Okay students, now I am going to explain you the very first exercise 3.1. There are only 2 questions. So happy? Okay. So the very first question is, how will you describe the position of a table lamp on your study table to another person? Question clear to everyone? Question is, how will you describe the position of a table lamp on your study table? There is a table lamp which is kept on your study table. So what we will do? We will have to draw the table here. Consider this is your study table. This is the top of your study table. Clear? And table lamp is putting here. Clear? This is the position of table lamp. We have to consider its position. We have to find out the position of this table lamp. So I told you, if we have to find the position of any point, so for this point, this edge of the table and this edge of the table, both the edges can be considered as the coordinate axis. It depends on you. If we consider this edge as x-axis and this edge as y-axis, suppose that this is x-axis and this is y-axis, so this meeting point will be considered as origin. So for finding the position of a point, we will have to draw the perpendicular from this point to x-axis and y-axis like this. Clear? Now we have to find out the distance, this distance from origin. Suppose that this distance is 10 centimeter from this corner point, and this distance is 27 centimeter. This distance is 27 centimeter from this corner point. Clear? So the position of this point will be, we will have to note the x point first and y point second. So on x-axis this point is how much? 10, comma, this y point is 27. So the position of this table lamp can be 10, 27. Clear? These numbers are my consideration. You can consider 5, 7, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So these numbers are my consideration. So you can consider any other number. So the position of this table lamp will be 10, 27. But if somebody considers this axis as y-axis and this is x-axis, then I told you you have to write the point on x-axis first. So the position of this point is now changed. Now the point on x-axis is 27 and point on y-axis is 10. So the position of this table lamp can be 10, 27 or 27, 10. It depends on our consideration which axis I considered as x or which axis I considered as y. So the position of a table lamp can be 10, 27 or 27, 10. So at last you have to write the position of table lamp is 10, 27 or 27, 10. Both answers are correct. Clear? It depends on axis. If it is x-axis, then this point, or if it is y-axis, then this is the position. Understood? Hope this question is clear to everyone. Okay, students. Now pause the video and note the sum. Now, students, the second question is: a city has two main roads which cross each other at the center of the city. A city has two main roads which cross each other at the center of the city. These two roads are along the north-south direction and east-west direction. Two crossroads are there. So, two crossroads are there means one road is this, another road is this. Question is saying these two roads are along the north-south and east-west direction. So, beta, we know that this is north, south, this is east, and this is west direction. Clear? Now, question is saying all the other streets of the city run parallel to these roads are 200 apart. There are 5 streets in each direction. There are 5 streets in each direction. But 5 streets along north-south direction or along east-west direction. So see, street 1, this first street is parallel to east-west direction. Street 2, street 3, street 4 and street 5. This is first street, second, third, fourth and fifth street along east-west direction. Now 5 streets are along north-south direction. This is street 1, street 2, street 3, street 4 and street 5. Clear? 5 streets along east-west direction or 5 streets along north-south direction. Now, question is saying using 1 centimeter is equal to 200 meter. Means the gap between 2 streets is 200 meters. Yeah. And we will consider the gap of 1 centimeter. Means 1 centimeter equals to, let 1 centimeter gap is equals to 200 meter. So the distance between 2 streets is 200 meters, 200 meters, 200 meters, 200 meters. Same here, 200 meters, 200 meters, 200 meters, 200 meters and 200 meters. Understood? Now question is saying draw a model of the city on your notebook. So beta, this is the model of that city. Clear? This is the model of that city. Now represent the roads, street by single lines. We have already represent the roads and street by single line. Now there are many cross streets in your model. There are many cross streets. See, they all are cross street or not? So many cross streets are here. Now a particular cross street is made by 2 streets one running in north-south direction and another in east-west direction. Each cross street is referred in the following manner. If the second street running in the north-south direction and the fifth is the east-west direction meet at some crossing, then we will call this cross street 2, 5. What is the meaning of this line? Question is saying each cross street is referred to in the following manner. If the second street running in north-south direction, second street north-south direction, so we will consider is this street as first point, and fifth street in east-west direction. Fifth street is this or second is this, so their intersection point is here, second street and fifth street. So it is considered as 2, 5, means second street and fifth street, to 2, 5. Clear? So we have to write the first point along north-south direction, means this axis, and second point along east-west direction. Got it? Now see, 2 points are given here. How many cross streets can be referred to as 4, 3? Beta 4, 3. So how can we find the point 4, 3? Fourth street along north-south direction. Fourth street is this. And 4, 3. Third street along east-west direction. This third street and this fourth street. Their cross-section point is this. Intersection point. So its coordinate will be 4, 3. And second point is how many cross streets can be referred to as 3, 4. 3 is the first point. So we have to find the third street along north-south direction. This one. And fourth street along east-west direction. Fourth street is this. So the intersection point of this fourth street or this third street is here. So it is represented as 3, 4. Clear? Now question is saying how many cross streets can be referred to this. So there is only two. There are always 2 streets only on this cross section. Clear? So you have to write only 2 streets. This is the answer for both the parts, for first and second. Question is saying how many cross streets can be referred to 4, 3. So 4, 3 को रेफर करने वाली कितनी streets हैं? So only one street is this or second street is this. So only 2 streets are there. Got it? Hope it is clear. So here the first exercise is completed. So students, pause your video and note down this. Okay students, now I am going to start exercise 3.2. The very first question, just read in your book. First question is write the answers of each of the following questions. The very first question is what is the name of the horizontal and the vertical lines drawn to determine the position of any point in the Cartesian plane? Simply, question is saying in Cartesian plane what is the name of horizontal axis and what is the name of vertical axis. So you all know that the horizontal axis is known as x-axis and the vertical axis is known as y-axis. So the answer of first part is horizontal line is known as x-axis and vertical line is known as y-axis. This is the answer for first part. Now the second part is what is the name of each part of the plane formed by these 2 lines. But in Cartesian plane, if 2 lines are represented as coordinate axes, then it divides the whole plane into how many parts? 4 parts, and these parts are known as what? Yes, you know, that is quadrant. So what is the answer for this? Quadrants. Clear? Third point. Question is saying write the name of the point where these 2 lines intersect. Write the name of that point where these 2 lines intersect. where these two lines means x-axis and y-axis intersect. This point is known as what? Yes, you are correct. That is origin. So the name of the intersection point of these two axes is known as origin. Hope it is clear. So here first question is finished. So students, pause your video and note these sums. Please pause the video and note the sums. Okay students, now I am going to start the second question of this exercise. This Cartesian plane is given in your book and you have to give the answer of some parts here. So here some points are located on this Cartesian plane. Point D, point C, point G, point E, point H, point B, point M or point L. Question is saying find the coordinates of point B. What is the coordinates of B? So beta B point is this. I told you कि first of all we will have to write the X point. So on B, what is X point here? That is -5. So its abscissa is -5, comma, ordinate is Y point. So Y point, what is here? That is 2. So the coordinates of point B is -5, comma, 2. Got it? Similarly, the coordinates of point C. So beta point C is here. On x-axis, this is 5. So first we have to write X point, and on y-axis is -5. So the coordinates of C are 5, -5. Third is the point identified by the coordinates -3, -5. Now coordinates are given and we have to identify the point. So we have to find the name of the point whose coordinates are -3 and -5. So X is -3 here and Y is -5 is here. So E point is a point which is identified by the coordinates -3, -5. So which point? You have to write here point E. Next is the abscissa of point D. Now question is not asking about the coordinates. Question is asking about abscissa. You know that abscissa is a point on x-axis. So at point D, what is the abscissa? So first of all we have to find where is D. D point is this. So here what is abscissa? Abscissa means X point. So on x-axis which point is here? That is 6. So abscissa of point D is 6. Now the ordinate of point H. Ordinate means Y point. Y point of H. H is here. So its Y point. Y point is how much? -3. So the ordinate of point H is -3. Now the coordinates of point L. But a point L is here. So what are the coordinates of this? Now see, this point is on y-axis. I told you, if a point lie on y-axis, then abscissa will be 0. So X point will be 0 and on Y, what is the point? 5. So the coordinates of L will be 0, 5. Now the coordinates of point M. Point M is here. We have to find coordinates and this point lie on x-axis. If it lie on x-axis, then its ordinate will be 0. So on x-axis is how much? -3 and Y will be 0. So the coordinates of point M is -3, 0. This is the coordinates of point M. Clear? So you can easily find the answer. So students, please pause the video and note it down. Okay students, now I am going to explain the third exercise of this chapter and this is the last exercise of this chapter. So 3.3, very first question is, in which quadrant or on which axis do the following point lie? Because here some points are given and we have to find out in which quadrant or on which axis कि ये point किस quadrant में और किस axis पर lie कर रहे हैं. Clear? So I told you कि in first quadrant abscissa and ordinate both are positive. In second quadrant abscissa is negative, ordinate is positive. In third both are negative. In fourth quadrant abscissa is positive and ordinates are negative. So what we will do? First we will have to draw the Cartesian plane. X-axis, Y-axis, X dash, Y dash. So you know that this is first quadrant, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. So here, this is origin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same here, -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. -1, -2, -3, -4, and -5. So first of all, we have to find on which axis or in which quadrant these points lie. So see, here x is negative, y is positive. So beta x is negative, this is this axis, and y is positive, this one. So where it will lie? In second quadrant. This is second now. So we have to write here second quadrant. See, x is positive and y is negative. So where x positive? X positive is here. Y negative? Y negative is here. So x positive, y negative. Which quadrant? This quadrant. And this is known as fourth quadrant. So this point will lie in fourth quadrant. Now -1, 0. See, 0 means y point is 0. If y point is 0, then point will lie on x-axis. Point will not lie in any quadrant. Point will lie on x-axis because here y point is 0. So you have to write here on x-axis. 1 and 2. So see, x is positive, y is also positive. If both are positive, then point will lie in first quadrant. So first quadrant. And here x is negative and y is also negative. Both are negative. So beta x is negative here or y is negative here. So the point will lie in third quadrant. Clear? Half question is solved. Now the question is saying verify your answer by locating them on the Cartesian plane. Now we have to verify कि our answers are correct or not. So what we have to do? We have to locate these points on this coordinate axis. Clear? How to locate these points? First point is -2, 4. -2, 4 means x is -2 and y is 4. X is -2 here. So we will have to take this. And y is 4. Y is 4 here. So this is a point P. Its coordinates is -2, 4. Clear? 3, -1. x3 or y -1. x3 is here. Y -1 is here. So this is a point R. 3, -1. Now -1, 0. This point will lie on x-axis. So where is x? -1. So x is -1 here. So this point is S and its coordinates are -1, 0. 1, 2. x1 and y2. x1 is here or y2 is here. So this point is considered as M1, 2. Now -3 and -5. So x -3 and y -5. This point is considered as N. Its coordinates are -3 and -5. Clear? So this is the plotting of the points and these are the coordinates or axes in which the given points lie. Clear? So here first question is finished. On the last question, some points are given and we have to locate, we have to plot these points on Cartesian plane like that. So hope second question you can do yourself. So from my side, this chapter is completed. Third chapter is completed. So students, you have to complete your work. You have to solve exercise 3.1, 3.2 and 3.3 from the book. And you have to send me the pics of your homework on my WhatsApp number by 6 p.m. today. Got it? Okay, now I'm going to wind up this video. So till we will meet again in the next video with a new chapter. Till that time, stay at home and be happy. Thank you.